Okay, so this is Power Talk, episode 6. Welcome. Today we have our seniors here. They had a topic for their seminar, which was redesigning of the Westlands bus terminus, and they did a really good job. Yeah. So you're going to introduce yourselves and then you do the presentation. Alafu nyinyi wengine msikize. Haya, karibuni.
Good morning, Kensid. Okay, I'm James Situma from Didara Interiors, and as you can see, I'm not alone. I'm accompanied with these two beautiful designers over here. Let them introduce themselves.
Good morning. I'm Winnie Nduta from 2.2. My name is Cecilia Mungai, and I'm the CEO at Designs Kenya 2.1.
Okay, thank you. So we are going direct to the topic, and the topic of this forum, today's forum, is redesigning of the Westlands bus terminus to be more functional and efficient. So I'll be going direct to the introduction part, of which I hope every one of you knows where the terminus is, because most of us, maybe a few of us are the ones who drive here maybe a minimum of 3 days a week, or maybe the lecturers, but some of us, we commute via the terminus. So the terminus that we are talking about today is the one which is located at the Naivas Point, then the other one on your way to, heading to Wayaki Way. So the introduction part is that the Westlands bus terminus is a major transportation hub located in the Westlands area of Nairobi, Kenya. And it serves as a point of departure and arrival for large number of buses, matatus, and other transportation vehicles within and around the city. So the current design can be improved to make it more efficient and functional for both commuters and operators. So I'm taking you direct to the definition of terms. So the first term is bus terminus. Anyone who has an idea what a bus terminus is? A bus terminus? No one. A bus terminus. Ile yenye tunaita stage. So we designers call it bus terminus. Anyone with an idea? It's okay, I'll tell you. So a bus terminus is a designated location which is meant for arrival and departure, or pick and drop out of passengers. So the second term is matatu. Matatu. What is a matatu? Matatu, nganya, mathri. Nana jua mathri? Nana jua mathri? It's okay, I'll tell you. Simekata kuniambia. A matatu is a small van or a minivan used for public transportation in Kenya. So in Kenya it's called a matatu. In Tanzania it's called, anyone with an idea? It's called a matuana. Sindio? Matuana in Tanzania. Ama daladala. Daladala. Then in South Africa it's referred as taxis. So its main purpose is to transport commuters, not luggages or goods. Strictly commuters, only commuters from one point to another. So the next term, that brings us to the next term, of which is commuters. Commuters ni sisi, sindio? Because commuters are people. So commuters are people who use public transportation to travel from one place to another. People who use public transportation. You can't have your personal vehicle and as well call yourself a commuter. No, you ain't a commuter. So the commuter is the person who uses the bus terminus. They are part of the stakeholders of the bus terminus. The next one is transportation hub. A transportation hub is a central location that serves as a point of departure and arrival for different modes of transportation. That's self-explanatory. Then the next one is layout. Anyone with an idea of a layout? A layout, in general, the definition of a layout. Yes?
Okay, a layout is like the arrangement of things in a space or an area. Okay.
Thank you. Clap for her. The next one is efficiency. Efficiency. So efficiency is the ability of the bus terminus to operate in a timely, cost-effective and sustainable manner. Timely, cost-effective and sustainable manner. So we'll get to those points as we continue with my partners here, but now let's finish the terminologies first. The last one is functionality. So functionality is the ability of the bus terminus to meet the needs of its users, including commuters and transport operators. Okay? So I'll go straight to the design process. The design process of a bus terminus. So the first one in our redesigning process of the Westlands bus terminus is needs assessment. That's the first step, needs assessment. The first step in the design process is to conduct needs assessment. This involves identifying of the problems and challenges that the current terminus is facing. Yani kuredesign, so unajua isha designiwa, but it's not efficient or functional as inafaa ikuwe. So we as designers tumekuja na concept that we can redesign that. So we have to find the challenges that are there so that we can come up with the solutions. The second one is concept development. So once the needs assessment has been completed, the next step is to develop a concept for the redesigning bus terminus. This will involve brainstorming ideas, considering different design options and selecting the most appropriate approach. So after we found the problems at the terminus, so we'll have the concept as designers. Tunataka ikaaje, si ndio? Hatujaanza kuwork on it bado, but inaanza kwa akili. So we are saying like the concept development itakuaje ndio iendelee hivyo. So by that, this will involve brainstorming ideas, considering different design options and selecting the most appropriate option. The concept will need to take into account the need of the different stakeholders involved, including bus operators, passengers and local authorities. Local authorities kama Kanjo, Gava, Ivo, county government, such stuff. Then after that, after the concept development, we'll go direct to the design development. So we want to design to come up with we can say like something you can see of the design that we've development in our brains after brainstorming. So the design development, after the concept has been developed, the next step is to start developing the detailed design of the new bus terminus. This will involve working out the specifics of the design, including the layout, the materials to be used. Kanyi tuseme si commuters, tunataka tukifika pale tunakalia sofa, kukuwe na kiosk pale, ile public toilets zikuwe ngapi, maybe tunataka restaurant, tunataka underpass, tunataka overpass. So hapo sasa ndio design development will take us to. The next one is review and feedback. Once the detailed design has been completed, it will be necessary to review it and get feedback from stakeholders. Tumesema stakeholders ni commuters, operators na local authorities. So you just have to involve each one of them. Kama gava itaki, hawezi endelea. Kama commuters, we don't want the project, we can't continue with the project. If the operators say no, kwanza Madere na Makamagera wanajua kufunga barabara sana. Wakifunga rodi, hatuwezi endelea na project, ndio? So we'll just have to agree. If they say yes, then we go on with the project. So the final point, after they have agreed, is construction and implementation. Hapa sasa ndio wase wa MJE wanakuja, unacheki matipa zimekam, So the final stage in the design process is the construction and implementation of the new bus terminus. This will involve coordinating with contractors and builders, ensuring that infrastructure is in place, and monitoring the progress of the project. The construction phase will need to be carefully managed to ensure that the new bus terminus is delivered on time and within budget. As we know, in Kenya, all across the world, for such a project to be developed, to be constructed, there must be materials. Let's say materials from the hardwares like simiti, the tippers, kutakuwa na story na tenders yenye itapeanwa pale. So things might go wrong. Maybe the QS amekuja amechapa under budget ama over budget. Watu wataiba funds, such stuff. So at that final point, ndio wanahakikisha, as a designer unahakikisha everything is correct for the project to go on. And with that, tukifikia pale, tutakuwa na stage ingine fiti. Tutakuwa na kanyaga matope pale, tutakuwa na footbridge. As you guys know, uko hectic kucross ile barabara. So thank you. I'll take you to the next panelist. Welcome.
So I'm going to be taking you through the next part of our presentation. So with our current bus station, terminus, after our assessment, we came up with some of the problems as to why we need a change in the terminus. And obviously, you cannot redesign something without having a reason to redesign it. So after me and my team, we went there and we gathered some information as to why this terminus, it's not functional, it's not efficient, it's not working according to how we want it to be. So some of the problems, one was congestion, we have delays, we have accidents. Most of you guys, you've had a lot of accidents over there in Westlands terminus. We've had a lot of pollution because when you're there is a difference in air ukifika pale kwa hiyo terminus. That's all about pollution, the air pollution. From the matatus, the buses, the taxis, the people. Another one was confusion, especially with the high numbers of residents in Westlands area, and most people, they don't want to use their own private means, so they go for the public means. So there's a lot of confusion there by both the motorists and the people. So here is a presentation of the current situation of the congestion in Westlands bus terminus. We have the newly built roads over there, which has caused a really big problem in that location of our terminus. There's a lot of congestion. You see a lot of matatus and buses. There's not a clear layout of how these matatus and buses are aligned. You just see them everywhere. They are mixed with the people. Like you can tell which bus is going which way. All of them, they are together. The people also are all there together. So there's not that clear movement of how the buses are being. So congestion is very high in this place. My next point is on accidents. Due to this congestion, obviously, we are going to have accidents. Why? You don't have a clear route in which you are supposed to pass. When you went as a motorist, when you went for driving, there's a clear way in which they told you, use this, use this. But obviously, other motorists, they don't have the same thought process as you. They want to go where they are going very quickly. So obviously, because we don't have that clear layout of how we are going to reach our terminus and how we are going to get out of the terminus, it will cause a lot of accident. And you can see how these accidents are so bad. Most of these people who are involved in the accidents actually do not make it. First, because we don't have like clear hospitals around here. So, you know, there's a lot of repercussions with the accidents. Another one is delays. How many people, let me ask you guys, how many times have you been there at the stage and you want to reach maybe in school, but because of the way the terminus it's built, the way the layout is, it's really hard for you to get out of that place because of the space is not really big enough for you. Also, the delays when you're coming out, when you're traveling back home, or maybe other workers around Westlands want to get home, you find these long queues there because you don't have a way in which you can, you know, get a matatu or a bus. So this causes a lot of delays. When we want to make transportation and usage of space very efficient for everyone, there's you might find most of the times when you have a specific place you want to go and that place is really important, or a meeting, you'd rather take an Uber or Bolt. Why? Because, you know, when you get to the terminus, it won't be nice. Either the conductors, they are pushing you, or there's just a really long queue. Yani, the delay will just be there. So that's one of the problems. Another one is pollution. Pollution. Right now, the world, we are really going through it with this pollution thing. And now, our matatus, our nganyas are making it even harder for us. With the pollution, mostly it's the air pollution. Because of this air coming out of the matatus. Yeah. So this air pollution, by the way, it has a lot. Imagine you have had such a long day working or in school, and then you get to the bus terminus. It's just a different air over there. You're risking your health. You're risking your beauty. Your face is just there with all those things, those airs over there. So. Yeah, so pollution is a big thing. Also, you know, pollution is leading to cancer, you know, and such diseases. So that's a problem that we saw. It's really a big issue with our terminus. So I'm gonna introduce my my colleague to take you through the next phase. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Winnie Nduta, part of, I didn't say my company. It's Interior Expressions. Yes. So today we are dealing with the redesigning Westlands bus terminus. And yeah, with part of my group, we sat together, we saw the problems, you know, as per how, yes. So we have to have a reference point. As a designer, you have to have if you have a problem, you have to look at something. There has to be someone else who has done it in a better way, right? Yes, a case study, yes. There has to be, yeah, somewhere else, or someone else who had designed the place, a better place than you have right now. So, dealing with our problems, one is congestion. You've seen how Nairobi is, everyone everywhere with no order. So, one way we can deal with our problems is, yeah, you know, 8 to 5 workers, you know, it's always in a rush, you want to get there in time. And one of these things we can do during the peak hours, the terminus can be overcrowded. So we design parking spaces for different cars. One of the things, like, the spaces have to be, spacious for the big cars, the small cars, and for the pedestrians. Yeah, well, that's one way to decongest the place. The other one is design spacious spaces. We design spacious spaces, waiting shelters and pickup points. You know, there has to be, you know, for the decongesting, you know, waiting areas, pedestrian crossing, like you just can't cross anywhere Who has been outside Kenya? You know you can't just cross anywhere in the road. You'll be fined. And these are the signages to where you're supposed to go and where you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to be sitting as you wait for the buses. You know, order. So as a designer, you have to design a spacious place for people to sit, for people to walk. You know, you have to consider the old, the differently enabled people, you know, the wheelchairs. It has to be UD, universal design. Yeah. So, and the seating have also to be comfortable seats, and they also have to be sustainable materials. So you have to consider all these things to decongest the bus terminus. Also the controlled movements, you see, there are signages, you know, you control the movements, not just crossing from anywhere, because if you're crossing in the wrong places, the bus can come and hit you and you die. That's how people die. Okay, so our next problem was, okay, the layout spaces, we've said these seating areas. Yeah, our next problem is accidents. You know what accidents are, right? You as a student, you want to be here in Kensid on time, so delay, and you have to be here safe. So one of the things we consider the bollards. Do you know what bollards are? I know you're learning new things today, you're welcome. So these are the things, you've seen them in CBD, right? Yeah, and usipite up, so it has to consider all these movements. People going in, you know, to avoid the cars from crashing in the pedestrians, all that. So these are the bollards. Pedestrian crossing, there has to be, you know what pedestrian crossing is. If you go for driving, you have to consider all, yes, you can't, you can't, they have rights, pedestrians have rights, and we consider that in our design. Energy efficiency, efficient lighting, that also is for the night, you know, like people who don't see clearly, yeah, visually impaired, you have to consider that at night. And yeah, as designing, you know, like here, there can't be a lot of lighting because you won't see the board. Yes. So also personnel is to control, like you have to feel safe in that bus station. So they have to be put in the right place to tell you, like, madam, you can't, you know, like help us. So that way, if you don't know what you're doing here, at least they can guide you. So those are the ways you can, at least for us, when we came to discuss how to avoid accidents. So the other part is delays. You want to get here on time, you want to go to the interviews on time, you have clients, so all these things we've considered that these things, okay, you can correct us, feel free, it's a conference. So these are the things we consider in the delays. Okay, you know bolts. You use bolts, right? You know, you just take a motorbike, bolts, Uber, Taxify, all those things. So you just double tap on your phone, you request. So with this bus terminus, we have a system in we have the personnel to do that, but yeah, they have a system. You check in, you check the bus terminus, whichever is going to, maybe you're going to Limuru. You know, it's a bus terminus that's going all the way to Limuru, to Nairobi. It's a highway actually. So you need a bus terminus that will let you to go to whatever direction you want in good time. So that's why we considered a mobile app to let you know how the system works when you're still at home, so you can get to where you're going in time, right? Melewa. So the technology is a very major role to solving the delays. The app, you know, this is hand in hand. The information desk. The information desk, they help the travelers, the users to know the bus schedules, the routes, the fares, and the relevant information. You know, even the information desk, if you've lost anything, it's usually an information desk to help everyone figure out, you know, yeah, if you have any problem. So that's also one thing. The washrooms. We need the lactating moms to have a special area with their babies, not just in the matatu, you know, it's everywhere, congestion. also the differently enabled, and yourselves, where you can go and help yourselves and dust off your face. Luggage storage rooms. These are places where you store your, you can't just come and sit and then you have your 10 bags with you. You have to have a special place to put them to be able to move around, to move around. That's why we're putting, we haven't put the photos for that, but it's supposed to have amenities. The last problem we had was pollution. So one of the things we came with was solar panels. This is the energy and the ecosystem, the green part. So one of them was solar panels. This is to reduce the consumption of, electricity and all that. It's very resourceful. It's nice. Yeah, so they implemented here to it's conservative. Yeah, the energy. The other one is incorporate greenery. So you can see the plants. They make your surroundings, the atmosphere very conducive, like even for the air quality. Yes. Another one is rainwater harvesting system. The drainage is part of it, so you don't have water laying around everywhere to make you uncomfortable with the smell and everything. That makes it easier. The charging points. These are for the electric cars. Electric cars, the buses. Yeah, they need the charging points, so you don't have to think about pollution, air pollution. Other points are recycling and waste management, use of sustainable materials, and the charging points. So generally, all those are the incorporating, energy ecosystem design elements. The bus terminus can become more sustainable and environmentally friendly place for the both commuters and surrounding ecosystem. These design, all those. So, yeah, doing these, you can go and research. Our reference point was My City Bus Terminus in South Africa, and if we can get that here, I think it will change everybody's life. We can say Kenya is the future with the help of everyone's help. I don't know about the budget, but if we were told about the budget for the project, we'd actually, but anyway, it's a point of, yeah, we'd work on. But yeah, the government should try us, right? We're designers, we're the future, and we're here. So thank you. Have a good day.